Very good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible, people? Okay, great. Very good evening, everyone. How are you all? Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing good, people. So I can see that people are still joining the class. Okay. Here we will wait couple of minutes, and then after that I will begin the session. Then we will talk what we are going to discuss in this module. I will introduce myself as well, and then after that we'll proceed the class. Okay, let's just wait more 2 or 3 minutes so that all of the participants join the class. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I guess everybody is here. So let's start the class. Okay, I hope you guys know that this is our programming foundation module, right? And from today, the classes of your programming foundation is going to start, and we will have the classes for 2 weeks. Okay. And here in this programming foundation, I will talk about what we are going to learn over here. What are the things that you will study in this module? What are the skills that will develop over here? We will talk about that. Okay. So before I proceed, please confirm one more time if my voice is clearly audible to you all or not. And I just shared a blackboard, and if this board is visible to you all or not. Okay. It's audible and visible, right? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, people. So this is here we are going to start programming foundation. Okay, people. And from today onwards, I'm going to take the classes for your programming foundation. And for programming foundation, I'll be taking the classes. Okay. And let me introduce myself. I am Aisha Siddiqui. Okay. And I am a trainer over here in data train. And from today onwards, I'll be taking your programming foundation classes. And now let me tell you what we are going to do in this couple of classes. Okay. So here, as the name over here is that we are going to build the foundation for the programs. Okay. And later on, you are going to work as a data scientist and data analyst, and you will be learning Python programming, right? Later on, you will write a little bit of codes while using the Python programming language. So basically, before getting into that module, keeping in mind that there are so many people who are from the technical background as well as from the non-tech backgrounds, right? So technical, those people who are from tech backgrounds, they must have knowledge about some basic programs. They must have done some kind of coding at some point of their life. But the people who are from the non-tech background are totally unaware about the programming thing. Yes, it is very new to you and things might be overwhelming, things might be confusing. So before directly getting into the technical part, that means before directly getting into the, like directly writing the codes, first we are supposed to develop the foundation for it. Okay. So here in this programming foundation class, we are going to build some fundamental skills and foundational understanding that you need to develop before getting into programming, right? Because as you all know, you guys want to be data scientist, and as a data scientist you must have skill in Python programming. So before getting into the programming, we will look at the foundation of programming. Okay, here you are not actually going to write the codes. No, in this module you are going to understand how to write the codes. Okay, later on when you will get to the Python programming part, then the logics, the terms, the terminologies, okay, the words that you will learn over here in this programming foundation part, you will be implementing those once you get to the Python programming module. Are you guys getting the point? So basically here you are going to learn the foundation, how programs are written. Like before you deep dive into the Python programming, you are going to learn the foundation of it. Okay. It is going to help to build some kind of understanding or foundation to programming. And let me repeat myself, we are not getting into the real programming right now. We are not going to cover the real programming right now, but understand how programming works. So basically, while writing programs, there are some terms like variables, data types, operators, okay? And before solving some questions, we need to understand the logic. Like if you are supposed to print the even numbers or find out the sum of the two numbers. So to write such codes, we need to understand the logic, right? So the points that we are going to cover in this session are related to those. Okay, the objective of this module is to create foundation or understanding programs. The words that you need to know, the meaning of the variables, okay, the meaning of the coding, the meaning of the data types, different things that you would actually need while writing the programs. Okay, so we are going to learn about those things in programming foundation module. Is this understandable to you all? And one more thing, that this is going to be all theoretical. Okay, we'll be solving some bunch of questions also, but all of this is going to be theoretical. As I told you, here we are to understand the concept of programs, but not to implement the program itself. You will implement these concepts once you get to the Python programming part. Is this understandable to you all? And if you are curious what we are going to learn, then we'll be discussing many things, okay? And I request for patience. We'll go step by step, okay? And with time, you will get to see what we are learning in this couple of classes and what you are going to develop or what you are going to understand about it, okay? So once I will start the explanation, I am basically going to start from the zero, right? I will start it from ground zero, like literally from the basic. Okay, I will start everything from the basic because we need to know these things. And with the classes, we will level up. We'll go to the step 1, then step 2, then step 3. And we will understand everything that is done. So the person who is asking statistics chapter is done. So this is the very first class of programming foundation. Before that, and today is my very first class with you all as well, right? So there is not any chapter that has been covered yet. And if you are talking about any other module, then to I won't be able to answer what has been taught before this. Okay, because I didn't take those classes. So you can ask me the questions related to the topic that I'll be teaching. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Yeah. And one more thing that I would like to ask all of you is that, okay, the thing that I don't want, it's a request from you to all of you that if I'm explaining one topic, okay, if I'm explaining a certain topic, then I would ask you people to have patience. Of course, you guys will have some problems. You guys will have some questions. You want to answer me those questions also, right? But I want you people to keep on hold for some time. Like, for example, if I'm talking about programming, okay, it's a topic and I'm explaining this, it might take me 10 minutes or 15 minutes to explain all of those things. So meanwhile, whatever the questions that you will get or whatever the doubts you will have, I would suggest you to write it on the notebook or anywhere that you want. Okay. And once I'm done with the explanation, we will have a time for Q&A, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no matter how many time it takes. Okay. And in that mean of time, I'll be taking questions from you and I'll be answering them. Why is, consider that I'm explaining something. Okay. Suddenly a people raise a question. And if I will stop explaining and start answering the question that a person has raised, it is going to create so much confusion, right? It is going to disturb the class as well. And I don't want to create such confusion while creating or while explaining the topic. So what I want to is that please be interactive in the class. Okay, you can obviously tell me, yes, we are understanding this, we are not getting this point, please repeat these things. That's okay. But I'm asking that if you have any specific question, okay, related to the topic, then let me explain that topic first. After each topic, I will give you some time, and in that time, you can raise your queries or doubts that you have, and I'll help you with that. Is this clear to all of you? Before this session, sir had taught about variance and convariance topic to us. Is that completed? So as I told you, I am a new mentor to your class right now. Okay, this is very first class. I'm taking your programming foundation classes from today. I have no idea what sir had taught you before this class. Okay. So if you have any confusion whether the variance and the covariance topic was completed or not, then I would ask you to raise a ticket or raise your doubts regarding to that. Because obviously I won't be able to answer what was taught in your previous module. Okay. Since I didn't teach you that, right? So if you have any confusion regarding to these things, and those people who joined the class right now, let me repeat again, this is the first class of programming foundation and I am taking from today onwards, I'm taking your class. Okay. Okay, so there might be some kind of glitch sometimes, so you may not be able to join the class from dashboard. It might work in future. Okay, so is this clear to all of you? Why there has been sudden change, machine learning completed or not? Then can you please raise your queries regarding to this on the asked out section, and I think that one of the team member would connect with you and help you answer the question that you are asking if machine learning is completed or not. Okay, so if we are done with this, shall we begin the session? Okay, so here, as I told you, considering the people that are from non-tech as well as tech backgrounds, okay, I'm going to start from the very basic. When I say very basic, I'm literally going to start from the point of time when computer was initially invented. Okay, so I'm going to take classes in that way. So, and meanwhile, while I'm explaining something, I can see your answers coming up also. So if I ask you some questions, then you can obviously be interactive in the class and answer me the questions that I'm asking in the class as well. Okay. So now let's start the class, people. And for programming foundation, here we are learn how to write programs. Okay, so we write programs on our computers, on our electronic devices, right? And we say that people say that computers are very intelligent and can solve complex calculations in seconds. Yes, like computers can this, computers can do that, it can solve anything. Nowadays there's a very hype of AI also, that AI is doing this, and yes, solving all the problems. They are diligent, versatile, right? Helps to solve many problems and does many works, which is correct. Obviously it is true, computer is and helps us to solve many problems, okay, helps us to perform many tasks for us. But in reality, computer are actually dumb, okay, in the sense that, why am I saying it is a dumb machine? In a sense that it cannot function on its own, okay. You would never find any electronic devices that is performing the task on its own until and unless there is a person who is giving instructions to it. Okay. So for example, if there's a computer in front of me, okay, and if I'm just going to, let's take an example of an ATM machine. ATM machine is also like a computer, yes. And consider that it is an ATM machine which does not have any kind of speech recognition feature. Right now, it does not have anything. It can take your card only and you can withdraw the money. But what if you just go in front of that ATM machine and start shouting, give me 10,000 rupees or give me 5,000 or give me 3,000? So do you think the ATM machine is going to respond to such thing? Like if you are just going to shout over there, give me this much money, or maybe if you just sit in front of your computer and ask the computer, like literally, that print my name, and the computer don't know your name yet. Okay, the computer don't know your name yet. You have not given any instruction. You are just shouting over there and saying, please print my name, please print my name. So computer won't be able to do that. Okay. Computer won't be able to do that. So that's why we say that computer can't function on its own. It's a dumb machine. Okay. Computer can only follow instructions. Either it is in data science thing, machine learning. Okay. As I told you that AI is there. Okay. Every these softwares, machine learning algorithms, they can understand many things. Okay, they can develop their own understanding. Basically we say that they are working on its own. But right now, if I say that AI is a very hype of things in the market, right? There are so many AI and it is helping in so many fields also. And we basically say that AI is working on its own. It's like a miracle. We just ask something and it gives us so much answers. Then no, it's not a miracle. Okay, AI is also not working on its own. It's not. What's actually happening is there is some data scientist out there, or maybe some software developers out there who has written instruction in the form of programs, code, okay, and the machine is only following those instructions, nothing extra, nothing less. So it does only thing that we can ask it to do. That's the actual motive behind programming. Okay, if I give you an example, for example, if there's a AI that can create patterns or that can create pictures only, okay, that means it can remove the background of the picture, or it can have any kind of fancy background to the picture if there is a AI. But if you will ask this AI, please write a paragraph for me, or if you will ask this AI that please write an essay for me, or please write a speech for me in that way, then that AI is not going to respond to your question. Okay, because why is that? Because this AI has been created in such a way that it is able to create pictures only. It is used to modify pictures only. It is used to add background to that pictures only. So it is going to do only that amount of task that is fed to it. Okay, that means it is going to perform only those things that a certain computer programmer or a data scientist has fed to it while developing it. It is not going to do anything more than that, nothing less than that. Are you guys getting the point? Okay, so this is what, so maybe there are so many applications, so many mobile application websites for ordering food, ordering your clothes, Amazon, Zomato, so many, there are so many mobile applications, right? There are so many hyped up AIs also, and all of these things are not working on its own. They are working because there are actual people behind it who are making this thing work for users, for us, okay, for the normal peoples. So in this module of programming here, in this programming foundation class, what we are going to do is we are going to learn how can we give instructions to these machines, okay, or devices, so they can perform the task that we want them to do. Okay, so let's say if I have created a program over here, and the function of this program is that it can add, it's like a calculator. Okay, it can perform addition, it can perform subtraction, division, and multiplication. This is the application that I made right now. Okay, so I want this program to do addition right now. So I'm going to write a program. Yes, I need to feed some codes. I need to write some line of codes and create a program so that I can create this calculator. And to create that, I need some steps. Okay, I need to give instruction to the computer. I need to define some steps. Okay, I need to take necessary actions. So here we are going to learn, like, how can you give instructions to the computer in order to create a program that is going to help you, or that is going to overcome the problem that we get in the real life. Okay, like for example, previously, if I talk about 20 years from now in the back, 30 years from now, 30 years ago, okay, so there wasn't any online food ordering things or online cloth, like online shopping, e-commerce. There was nothing like that. Yes, people used to go to the market and buy those things that they want. So what happened is that there was the necessity. Now people don't want to go to the market. They want that their products, their supplies should be delivered to their place, at their own place. Okay, so then after that, the programmers, the data scientists came up with the idea, and they created such program that from which we can order food. They created a program from which we can book a taxi. They create a program from which we can buy clothes, accessories, and everything. They created a programs for entertainment, like social media platforms and all, so that we can communicate with peoples. Okay, so in this way, and how did they create that? They create by giving instructions to the computer. And here in this module, we will learn how can we give those instructions to the computer in order to create a program that we want for us. Okay, or maybe how can we give instruction to the computer to modify the existing program or to work with the existing programs. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Like, did you guys get the background what we are going to learn in this programming foundation class? Okay, great. Okay, so now if we go back into the time before this program or instruction things, obviously there was a time when the computer was invented for the first time, right? We all know that we have computers, and computers works on electricity only. That means computers are electronic device, right? And when I say electronic device, it is not only limited to the computers. Anything like our iPhones, our mobile phones, MacBooks, PC, okay, a TV, refrigerator, all of these things are electronic devices. Okay, and these electronic devices works only if there is electricity. It doesn't matter if it is a direct current or alternate current, that means it is AC or DC. We need electricity in order to operate any electronic devices. Okay, so let's say that I have a computer in front of me and I want this computer to perform a task. I have this computer in front of me and I want this computer to perform a task. It's idle. Right now it's idle. It's dumb like a piece of a rock. Okay. And I want to communicate with this device. I want it to do some task for me. Okay. Maybe I want this computer to print my name. And I want my computer to print my name in a very fancy way also. Not only just print my name. Okay. So I need to communicate, right? I need to give instruction to the computer. So in order to communicate with this device, I need to have something or something that can help me communicate with the computer. So basically, when the computer was invented for the very first time, I want you people to go back in the time when the technology was not this much modern. Okay, let's go back in the time when computers were invented for the first time, like the first generation of the computers. At that time, computers were huge, right? They used to be like the size of a big one room. Yes or not? And those times, computer used to take like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours to complete one task only. Yes, and it used to generate so much heat as well. But basically, that's not the point. The point is that when the computers were invented for the first time, okay, when the computer scientists they invented computer for the very first time, they tried to understand, okay, now we have created this computer, but now how to make it work or how to communicate with this computer, that was the point. That was the problem over there. Okay, like how to make this computer perform the task for us. Okay, and then when this was the problem, like how to communicate with the computer, the first thing that popped up in their mind was this electricity. Okay, if you guys have ever noticed, okay, every electronic devices works on electricity, right? I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but whenever there is some kind of voltage fluctuation, okay, with electricity, we have two things. We have current, okay, and we have voltages. Okay, so if you have noticed or not, whenever there is a fluctuation in the voltage, like if the voltage goes high or the voltage goes low, then there is certain movement in the electric bulb, or maybe the television automatically stops. Okay, nowadays these things don't happen, but these things used to happen so much in back in the time. When I talk about like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, there was so much problem of voltage that it used to fluctuate, go up and down. Okay, so because of the fluctuation in the voltage, the light would be dim. Okay, there won't be enough light in the light bulb. Have you guys ever noticed these things? Okay, so basically whenever there is electricity, there are two components to it. One is current and voltage. And out of these two things, this voltage one is very easy to control. Okay, out of the current and voltages, the voltage one is very easy to control. So the computer scientist that time came up with idea. They came up with the idea that let's use this voltage in order to communicate with computer. Okay, and how did they come up with this idea is that there was a computer, okay, created. They created this computer, and then after that, they formed some signals, like they had voltages, right? and they created the signals and they sent those signals to this computer. And how did they generate those signals? Like sometimes there would be low voltage, sometimes there would be high voltage. Sometimes they would send again low voltage, then again low voltage, then again high voltage. Okay, then low voltage. Then they noticed that this computer or this electronic device actually responded to this voltage thing. Okay, they actually they maybe they have used stabilizer or any other things to control the voltage, okay, any device that time. So basically they created a signal and they sometimes they would send low voltage then high voltage, okay, and they form a signal, and they saw that the computer actually responded to these voltages. Okay, so let's say that if they created a signal which looks something like high, low, then again high, then low, then again low, high and low. Okay, so when they created these signals, the machine actually responded. That means the device, the electronic device, was able to understand this signal thing, right? They were able to understand this signal thing. So they reach a point where they can actually now interact with computers. Before, this computer was like a piece of a rock, okay, but they come up with a idea of a voltage, and now they find a way to which the computer would actually react. Okay, so this voltage thing, this came up with the solution. Okay, now the computer is reacting to it. Okay, it's a very plus point, but still it is not enough. Okay, how it is not enough? Because we as a human being cannot understand voltages. You cannot expect a normal human being to write a program or to write a code and give instruction to the computer by only using the signals or by only using the voltages. That is like next to impossible task. Okay, so here comes another problem. The first problem was that how to communicate or interact with the computer. So they came up with the idea of the voltages and they overcome it. But now, okay, the computer is reacting to these voltages, but how in every time you are going to use only voltages to communicate with the computer? That means it is going to be very tough. It is going to be a next impossible task, right? Because we human being ourselves cannot understand it. So now they again had a problem in their way and they need to come up with a new solution. Okay. So now they came up with a new solution, and what they did was they came up with a new solution, and what they did was instead of using voltages, they came up with the idea of 1 and 0. So they represented high voltages as 1 and the low voltages at 0. Okay. So now what they were able to do was they can form commands by using this 0 and 1. Okay, we all know number system, right? So now instead of this high voltage and low voltage thing, instead of this, they can create a command by using 1 and 0. So basically this can be converted as high would be 1, then 0, then 1, then 0, 0, then again 1 and then 0. Okay, now these numbers, it is not like the perfect solution. No, it is not. We still cannot write program by using these numbers, but it it was still it was still a solution that these numbers are more relevant to us, right? As compared to voltages, the numbers are more relevant to us, and this number system was later on called as binary number system. Until this date, we know that computer understands only one language. And what language is that? We all know that computer understands only one language, and that is machine level language or binary language. Right? So this was how the binary system, or the concept that the computer only understands binary language, came into the picture. Okay, And the concept was created where we say computer can understand nothing but binary number system. And till this date, no matter whatever the electronic device that you are using, the computer understands only one thing, that is binary number system, that is the combination of 1 and 0 only. Is this understandable to you all? Okay, so now we will see that since we came to a concept that computer can understand, okay, but how are we going to give instruction by using this binary number system? Because this 1 and 0 thing is still very difficult for us. We cannot write a program by using 1 and 0. So now we will see that how computer scientists came up with a new solution. So if you have any queries, any doubts up to the topic or up to the things that were discussed up to now, you can ask me. Is there any queries or any doubts, people? About the textbook, we'll discuss that at the end of the class, but basically there isn't any recommendation for the textbook, because the topic that we'll be discussing in in this module is going to be more than enough for you to understand everything. Okay, but still, if you are curious and if you want to learn more things, then there's always the resources available on the internet. You can go over there. Okay, and in case of any confusion, you can take help from us. No, the number is the combination of only 1 and 0, not from 0 to 10. No. The binary number system is the combination of the number only 1 and 0. Okay, 1, 0. That's it. In ancient time, if they want to write a letter, how they write it with voltages. So basically, as I told you, in ancient time, computers were not able to perform such complex tasks. Okay. If I go to I'm talking about the first generation of a computer. First generation of computer neither had keyboard nor monitor. It didn't had any kind of mouse. Also, it was like a machine, a big block of machine, and it could perform only one task. Maybe it could perform addition only, or maybe it could print one letter only. So in ancient time, people didn't use voltages or computers to write later. Okay. And basically, they didn't write a letter by using these voltages. They just represented. They represented, the computer scientists represented that high voltage, we will represent high voltage as 1 and low voltage as 0. It was like an idea only, that instead of using high voltage and low voltage, we will just convert the high as 1 and low as 0. That's it. And later on, instead of saying it 1 and 0, 1 and 0 only, they gave it a name, and that name was binary number system. Yeah, first generation could perform only one task, and that also it used to take like 3 to 4 hours to complete one task. And previously, no normal people could use computers. To use a computer, there would be a like computer scientist, okay, the people who had a extra knowledge, or they go out of the way and take practice and learn the thing. Such people only could operate computers in first generation, second generation. Okay, so is there any more question? No. Then let's proceed. Okay, so here up to now what we understand is that computer was invented. Computer scientists wanted to communicate with the computer. They came up with the idea of voltage. Okay, voltage was very difficult to handle and understand as a normal human being, so they represented it in the form of 1 and 0. That is that we still tell computer understands only one language, that is binary language or binary number system. Okay, so they came up with a solution, no doubt. But what about us? What about us, like normal human beings? Okay, you can't expect me to use 1 and 0 only to write all of the codes. That means consider that I'm supposed to say hello. Okay, and instead of saying hello, I'm writing a program to the computer in the form of 1 0 1 0 1, like this. Make it make sense. Like, does this make sense for us as a normal human being? It does not. Okay, so that's why it was still a problem. Even though they came up with a solution, the idea of communicating, we human being, by using binary number system was still a problem. Okay, like if you take a look at these numbers, okay, this looks familiar because it has 1 and 0, and we know 1 and 0 are some numbers, and it looks familiar. But we cannot actually understand. The thing is that in our mind, okay, it's a very fun thing, but in our mind, what we see this is HELLO, hello. Okay, we see these because we have been learning these things since our childhood. We have been studying the letters, the alphabets, how to talk, how to communicate with people. Some people uses English language, some people uses Hindi, some people uses their own mother tongues, right? That's why we know that this is HELLO from our point of view. But from computers or electronics devices point of view, this is not HELLO. This is something like 10110 or something. Okay, it's the computer language that we don't understand. Right, so what we can understand is there are some ones and there are some zeros, but we cannot understand what is it trying to convey, like what's the actual meaning behind it. Okay, binary is a language, okay, but we humans do not use this as a means of communication. Again, we have a problem here. Computer scientists simplify high and low voltage into a binary language, which is relevant to us, but still not convenient enough to understand or convenient enough to communicate with computers. Okay, because you can't expect, like right now, I'm communicating with you by using a language that is a universally accepted language, and we expect it's not necessary that everybody should know English language. Okay, it's not a requirement, but it is expected because of this today's world. Everyone is expected to know this language as it is universally accepted language, right? That's why we use this language to communicate all of the people who are right now in the class. In the same way, computer has its own language, that is binary language, and it only understands that, but we don't understand it. Okay, so now there was a problem, and computer scientists need to come up with a solution for that. So they came up with a new mechanism in order to understand this. They came up with a new mechanism to communicate with computer, and we call that mechanism as programming language. We call that mechanism as programming language. And how is that? Because programming languages, there are bunch of programming languages available, right? Whenever you must have heard about codings, creating softwares, creating websites, okay, applications, AI or anything, you must have heard that programmers does coding and develop the programs, all right? Coding as in to write. Coding is nothing but it is just a piece of lines that we write to give instruction to the computer. Okay, coding is, the word coding means to give instruction to the computer by following some rules and regulations that computer will understand. Okay, and there are bunch of programming languages available, like there is C, we have C++, we have Java programming language. Okay, we have Python programming language, there's Ruby. Okay, there is VS Code, there are so many programming languages available over there. Okay, and with time, each and every programming languages has been developed. So these programming languages have some kind of predefined words. Okay, what does it have? It has some predefined words that we call as keywords. Okay, the programming languages that I have named over here was created by computer scientists itself. Why was created this? I will tell you. Okay, we'll get to that point. So it was created in such a way that it had some kind of words, keywords. Okay, and those keywords have some meanings to it. For example, while using programming languages, we are supposed to follow some rules and regulations, right? We say that a single inverted comma has its own meaning, a parenthesis has its own meaning, spaces has its own meanings. Okay, so in the same way, there are meanings like if I write input or not input. For example, if I'll write print, okay, then this particular word, it's a print for us. Okay, and in computer, in this programming language, this word, this keyword has been saved. Like the programming language was created in such a way that there are so many keywords saved in it, and each keyword has its own meaning. So print means to display something. Okay, to display something on the screen. Print means to display something on the screen, and the meaning of this print is also saved in the computer in the form of binary language. So maybe this print has been saved like 101010. Okay, so whenever you will write print on your computer screen, for example, if I will write something like print, okay, and then Aisha, like this, then here, are we able to understand what does this print means? Yes or not? If you will see this on your screen, will you get the idea or not? Because this print is familiar, right? This is the word that we are using. It's using the English words that we know. So if I will see this word, then I know I want my computer. If I am writing print Aisha, then that means I am telling the computer, I am giving instruction to the computer to print my name on the screen. Yes or not? So it is understandable to user. I am able to understand this. It is understandable to user, right? And plus another thing is that the meaning of this print, maybe the meaning of this print in computer language is this one, and it is already the meaning. Okay, it is saved in the it is saved as the keyword in that programming language in the computer. Okay, so whenever you will write print Aisha, then computer will automatically, this print will be converted into the binary language, and we don't need to do that. Okay, computers have already the thing that is called assembler, compiler. It has a language processor that converts these words into the machine language or the binary language. Okay, we don't need to take stress of that. Just right now think that it will happen automatically. So if I will write print, this word has already been saved in this programming language, right? And it will be automatically converted into the binary language. And if it is automatically converted into the binary language, now this will be understandable by computer. This will be understandable by computer. Then computer will understand, okay, I'm supposed to print this name on the screen, and it will display the name on the screen like this, and we will see the output. So how does programming language is helping us is that we cannot use binary language directly to communicate with the computers. We cannot do that because it is very a tough task. Okay. So programming languages were invented. Okay, programming languages, there are a bunch of programming languages, and they were invented. They gave a capability to computer where they have some words stored in it. Okay, and the meaning associated with these keywords and these words can be used to form commands, instructions, which is then given to computer as a program written, and we use these keywords to write the program using any particular programming language. So using this programming language, we can write instruction in the way we understand. So why programming languages were invented? They were invented so we, okay, the programmers or the data scientists, we could learn and we could give instruction in a way that we understand. Later on, those instruction will be converted in the way computer understands, and it will perform the task for us. And why computer will understand this? Because it has keywords, and the meaning of these keywords is already stored in the form of binary language in the computer. Okay, so the thing is that if I write print Aisha, computer will understand it is so I'm supposed to display the name on the screen. But if you will write like PRI only, like this, okay, then the meaning of this pre is not saved anywhere in that programming language. Okay, so computer will not understand this. Now computer will get confused because it will not be able to convert it into the binary language, because this is not a keyword. Okay, there is not any meaning associated with it, or this is not stored in any programming language. And if you will do something like this, then you will get error. Okay, so that's why in order to write instruction, in order to give write programs, we need to remember these keywords. And it's not like you will go and start memorizing these keywords. No. Once you will start writing programs, once you will start writing codes, you will automatically understand the meaning of these keywords, and there will be muscle memory that you will remember all of these keywords yourself. Right now, I just gave you example of one keyword, that is print. There are a bunch of other keywords that you will get to know, that you will implement once you start writing programs by using the Python programming language. Okay. So is this understandable to you all? Yeah, print means it shows something on the screen. Okay. So in short, what we can say is that uh, what programming languages is, then it's just like any English language. Okay, programming languages are the combination of just like any English language. Right now I'm communicating with you in English language because all of you understand. In the same way, programming languages are predefined keywords which hold some meaning in order to execute a task, perform any instruction given to a computer. So we can use this language. Okay, we can use these languages to interact with computer or to give instructions to the computer, because we cannot directly use binary language. Okay, so if I'm supposed to define it, then here I can write programming languages are predefined keywords. Okay, and these are predefined keywords which have some meaning in order to execute a task which has, if you want you can note it down also. Okay, in order to execute a task or to communicate with computer. Is this clear to all of you? If you have any query, any doubts, you can ask me. I'll help you with that. Okay. Yeah, this class is recorded class, and later on the recording session will be available in your LMS, and you can access it whenever you want. Any queries, any doubts? Okay, so is everything understandable that was taught up to now? Okay, great. Okay, now since we understood how the programming language thing came into the picture, okay, and I told you there are going to be some keywords, then it's not like you are directly going to write those keywords. There are some syntax. Syntax means rules and regulations to write the program, okay, and there are some terms that we need to know, and we will talk about those terms now. Okay, shall we move ahead then? Okay, so the first thing is that data. Whenever you will be creating a program, then whenever you are creating the program, then data is the thing that we need, will be interacting on daily basis, right? As a data scientist also, you will be interacting with the data on the daily basis. Every applications that you use needs instructions. Yes, maybe your Ola, WhatsApp, your social media platforms, anything. Okay, and data are nothing but they are some informations or raw facts. Okay, and these are raw information, so we need to know the meaning of this term. If you know it already, it's great. So this machine learning algorithms or Python programs that you will be creating later on, and as a data scientist, okay, the insights that you will be getting out from the whole bunch of data. So whatever you are going to do, you are always going to play around with data. Got it? Okay. Okay. Now, if we go back into the time, if you guys remember, while you were in your school, not school, maybe in high school or colleges, okay, in mathematics, we used to write algebraic expression, right? We used to write something like x plus y is equal to 10, or x is equal to 10, or y is equal to 20, like that. It's algebraic expression, okay? So in now in computer, in programming language, this thing is not algebraic expression anymore. It's not. Okay. When you will be writing program, whenever you will be writing program, you will be continuously storing datas. Okay. You will be storing either data permanently or temporarily, and you will be storing such values. So here, if this 10 is the value, okay, and this x is the variable, and how is this variable? Why do we name it variable? The thing is that whenever you will assign a value to a variable, okay, variable can be anything. I have written here x, you can write here y is equal to 20 also, like this. You can write z is equal to 100 also. We can have c is equal to like this, and then Python as well, okay. So value is the data that could be anything, and we store it in the variable. So what happens is whenever you assign a value to a variable in your computer, there's memory, right? That's a memory. And obviously the datas are going to take space of your memory. These values are the data, right? So it is going to take space from the memory. So whenever you create a variable, like if this x is equal to 10, then a space is created in the memory. Okay. And the name of this space will be x. What would be the name of this space? It would be x, and 10 will be stored over here. In the same way, if you have written y is equal to 20, then in your memory, a space will be created. The name of this space is going to be y, and the value given to this y will be stored in this space, that is 20. Okay, in the same way, if I have created this variable, then a space will be created in my memory. The name of this space would be c, and the value that will be stored over here would be Python like this. Okay, so variables is a very important factor while creating the programs. You will be continuously using variables. Okay, and a variable is nothing but this is just variable is just the name of memory location. Is it yes or not? Like the location or the spaces that has been created in the memory, it has some value in it, and we give name to those spaces. Okay, we give a name to those spaces and we call it as a variable. Okay, and the assigned value is going to be stored inside that particular memory space. Okay, so in this way computer gets the data and stores in its memory. Okay, I can store anything like this. Z is equal to 100, C is equal to Python. Okay, and for this memory space will be created and this particular value will be stored inside that memory space. Okay, and variable, it depends upon you that what you give a name to the variable. You can directly write a name, you can use a word, you can use a single letter. Okay, remember that the way of creating variable and the way of creating your email ID is like same. You cannot have duplicate variables and you cannot have spaces between two variables. You cannot start it with the number also. So it is similar to that. So is this variable clear to all of you? Yes. Now, since we are storing this data in the memory and it's taking space, we all know that there are two types of memory. Okay, one of the people wants me to repeat. So variable is something which value can be constantly, you can change the value. Okay, and variable is the name of the storage location or the memory location. That means here, if I will write a is equal to 30 like this. Okay, so here this 30 is the value and a is the name of the variable. So in the back of the memory, what will happen in your memory, a space, this data, this value will take some space and it will be stored over there. And the but this space cannot be created alone. You need to give a name to this location. You need to give a name to this storage space, and that name is here a, because we are assigning this value 30 to a. So it will be a, and we call this a as variable. Okay, so inside this memory right now I have this x variable, y variable, c variable, and a variable. I hope this is clear now. Okay, now if I ask you there are two types of memory and what are they, then let me see how many of you can answer it. Yes, exactly. So we have two types of memory, that is RAM and another one is ROM. Okay, RAM stands for RAM stands for random access memory, and ROM stands for read only memory. Okay, and we need to understand the differences between these two memories. Basically, every single electronic device that you are using has RAM and ROM in it. Okay, if I give you a basic example of your phone, in your phone, okay, in your phone you have so many applications, right? Consider that you have a camera applications in your phone and you went for a vacation, or maybe you went to a fancy restaurant and you are going to take some selfies or pictures with your friends. Then what you are going to do is that you will open this camera app, right? You will open it. So maybe it took you around 10 minutes to take pictures. Okay, it took you how many minutes to take pictures? It took you 10 minutes to take the pictures. Okay, inside your phone, when this camera app is installed, okay, inside your phone, if the camera app is installed, then it takes up your ROM space. Okay, so ROM is basically the permanent storage. Is the permanent storage, okay? And the amount of time that you are going to access this camera, the camera is installed in your phone, that time it is only taking the space of your ROM, okay? Maybe some MB, maybe some GB, it depends on that one, okay? The moment you open or tap on this camera app, okay, and you start using it, that means if you start taking pictures by using this camera app, then for that 10 minutes, it is going to take up the space of the RAM. So here, this is the temporary space, and the applications that are stored in your phone takes up the RAM space when it is in use. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? So basically, let me repeat it again. Okay, the applications that are installed in your phone or in your device, okay, it is stored when you are not using it. That means when you are not accessing it. Take an example of any gaming application. Okay, you must have been played so many games, right? Maybe you installed this is 1 GB. Okay, the size of this game is 1 GB. So when it is installed, it will take the space of the ROM. Okay, it will take the space of the ROM. But the moment you will access this game, that means the moment you will start playing, you will start playing, then now for playing, maybe it need 2 GB of RAM or 3 GB of RAM, okay, in order to play this game, because it have very high graphics, then maybe it take more GB according to that, okay. So here, when you are playing this game, while playing, it will take up the space of the RAM, okay. And once you will close the game, maybe while playing, it took 2 GB of the space of the RAM, okay. While playing, it took 2 GB of the space of the RAM. And now if you will close it, if you will close the game, then this 2 GB of space will be released, okay. This 2 GB of the space will be released and RAM will be cleared up, okay. So in this means that the permanent storage, whatever the apps that you have in your phone, it takes up, okay, it takes up the spaces of the ROM. And once you start using it, it takes the spaces of the RAM. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, if you have any doubt, any query, you can ask me. Yeah, basically the applications or apps that are stored in permanent memory, that means ROM. So basically we can say that the background app is ROM and the foreground app, right now, whatever the app that you are using on your screen, it will take the space of the RAM, and the app that is in the background, it will take the space of the ROM. The permanent one is read-only memory. ROM is the permanent memory. It is permanent memory because the data stored in it will not get lost once you close the program. Okay, the game that you have installed, it is going to take the 1 GB of the space. Either you turn off your phone, turn it on, or do anything until and unless you uninstall it. If the game is inside your phone, it is going to take the 1 GB of the space. Yeah, during the uses of the RAM, uses of any app, RAM is used, yes. I hope it is clear to you now. The new updates come with space they take. Or the new updates is going to take the ROM. The new updates, because it is going to increase the size of the existing program, so it will take ROM. Yeah, it will take the space of the ROM. Okay, is it, if it this is clear, shall we move ahead to the next topic now? What's the difference of ROM and hard? Can you please tell me what is hard first? I'm talking about hard disk. Okay, so hard disk is basically, okay, hard disk is a storage disk. You can carry it with you anywhere. Okay, ROM is a space that is already inbuilt in the device. Hard disk is an external storage, right? And ROM is the internal storage. A ROM is something that comes up with your phone when you buy it. That means when it is manufactured, the ROM space comes up with it. Okay, and hard disk is an external storage that you can have with you. Basically, we have primary storage and secondary storage. Okay, if you'll go back to the time, primary, inside the primary we have RAM and ROM, and inside the secondary we have hard disk, floppy disk, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM. Okay, this is those things. If we want this slide in which you are writing for revision and reference purpose, so the things that I am writing in this slide, okay, for revision purpose, you need to go through the recording classes. And while going to the recording classes, either you can note the things down that I'm writing on the board, or you can take the screenshot also. And later on, you can take reference from it for the revision. Yes, it will be considered as the ROM. In computers, it will be considered as the ROM. Okay, shall we move ahead to the next topic now? Okay, so previously we talked about the algebra and we had something like x is equal to 10. And here, which one is the variable? In this x is equal to 10, which one is the variable? This x is the variable, right? And this 10 is the value or the data. Okay, so where we assign value to a variable, and variable was actually working like a container. Yes, it is the space or it is the container in which we can store some values. In the same way, if I'm going to write y is equal to 20, then it would create a new container in my memory where 20 will be saved or stored. Okay, so whatever data or instructions we gave to computer, computer does what is that computer first converts the data into binary. It will first try to convert it into binary because it is only able to understand binary. And then after converting, computer understands, oh, that is what you want me to do. So if I have given here x is equal to 10, then this would be converted into the binary. That means maybe 1010. Okay. And after the conversion into binary, something like this is going to be the binary interpretation of this number. And the computer now understands, okay, I am supposed to store this number in the block of the memory. Okay. And it stores over there. But here's a situation. Let's say that I have any other variable. Okay. I have any other variable, and here if I have written y is equal to Aisha, that is my name. Okay. So a memory space is going to be occupied with name y. A container will be created over there. In the same way, if I will write, z is equal to a at the rate like this. So a new container will be created and this at the rate will be saved. Okay. But now I want all of you think about, we are talking about binary numbers. So if you think carefully, of course, this is number 10 and this 10 has been converted into the number itself, that is 1010. But if you think carefully, how are these things being converted into numbers? These actual letters and alphabets over here, right? But how are these things being converted into numbers? That I want you people to think. Okay. That of course I will give you answer, but right now let's consider this 10 one. So if this x is equal to 10, here 10 is a number. Okay. If this is a number system, we all know that computer understands which number system? It understands binary number system, right? Which has zeros and ones in it. Okay. So if this is a number system, then can I say that if this is a number system, then there are number going to be from minus infinity to positive infinity? Because no matter if it has two numbers only, I can have 0, 1, I can have 0, 0, 1, I can have 1, 0, 0, 0 like this. I can have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So basically what I'm trying to say is that there can be infinite numbers in binary number system also. Is that yes or no? Yes. So in binary number system, that means I can have numbers from negative infinity to positive infinity, right? Since binary is the also number. Okay. In the same way, if you know or not, the number system that we use in our daily life is the decimal number system, right? And decimal number system has 10 digits or 10 numbers, which is from 0 to 9. So basically the numbers that we use in our daily life, no matter how greater the number is or how smaller the number is, all of them are combination from 0 to 1. That means maybe 10, maybe 200, maybe 3, 2, 1, 4, okay, maybe 6, 5, 7, 3, 9, okay. All of these are the combination of the numbers from 0 to 9 only. So in the same way, we can also say for the decimal that there are numbers from negative infinity to positive infinity as well, right? So it is very much clear that every numbers, if we talk about numbers, every numbers in decimal number system, why am I talking about decimal number system? Because in our daily life we use decimal number system, right? So if decimal also starts from negative infinity to positive infinity, binary is also from negative infinity to positive infinity. So every decimal number can be represented in the form of binary, yes or no. So in decimal, if I have 0, then for binary it will be 0. Okay. In decimal, if I have 1, then in binary it will be represented as 1. in decimal, if I have 2, now this 2 will be represented as 1 and 0. Okay. In decimal, if I have 3, then this is going to be represented as 1 and 1. Okay. So basically what I am trying to say is that every decimal number systems can easily be represented in the form of binary number system. Okay, so we don't have any problem of converting the numbers to the binary number system. But the thing is that this is easily represented. Okay, but what about these letters? How are you going to represent these letters in binary numbers? Or how are you going to represent these characters in binary numbers? That is the main question over here. Are you guys getting the point? Yes. So it is very much easy. Like for number thing, it is easy. Like, yes, you can do that. Okay. But how we do this? So to store, sorry, to store or to convert these things, to convert this kind of values into the binary number system. Okay. Yes, every alphabet represent one unique binary number. Okay. So in order to represent all of these values, a concept was introduced and we call that concept as data types. What do we call it? What do we call it, people? We call it data types. Okay, now what is data types? So data type basically helps the computer to identify what kind of data we are storing. Okay, data type is like identifying what kind of data we are or the user is storing. Okay, so we are going to talk about the data types over here. And now, if I scroll it up, okay, so here we have different kind of data types, people, and we will see the major 5 types only. Because other data types, right now you need to learn about the 5 types. The other remaining data types you will learn once you get to the Python programming part. Because these 5 are like the foundation of the data types. Okay. So let's say now here I'm going to talk about the data types. And if I have written here x is equal to 10. Now it is different from data set. Okay. So here, if I have written x is equal to 10. So now we need to tell the computer that this is the number. Okay. And if I write here y is equal to program like this. Okay. So now we need to tell the computer that this program is not number. It is some kind of a word or letters or combination of characters. We need to say that. Okay. So whenever you are going to convert it into a human readable, this is human readable. Okay. And whenever we are going to convert it into the machine readable, that means in the way that computer understands, it is going to result in accurate conversion if we use data types, because it tells which type of value, or it tells the computer which type of value or which type of data is actually given by the user. Okay, so here how do we do that? For example, if I will write here int, int basically stands for integer. Okay, so because of this keyword, this int is also a keyword. Okay, so because of this keyword, now computer will understand that, okay, this 10 is a number and I need to convert it according to that. In the same way, if I write here string, okay, this is also a keyword. So because of this string, we can store words or alphabets. Okay, and then computer will understand, okay, it's a string data type and I need to convert it according to that. Okay, so this data type tells the computer this variable y is going to store a value which is of a string type, that is combination of characters, and this variable x is going to store a value that is of integer type, means that is number. Okay, And this is what data types do. But here is a very plus point for you all. And the plus point is that later on you are going to write Python. Don't worry about the repetition of the integer and string, because I will explain each and every data type in detail one by one. Okay. So right now, don't worry about that thing. Later on, you are going to use Python programming languages, right? And the thing is that Python programming is such a language that can handle such value. That means while writing the programs by using Python programming language, you don't need data type. Okay, whether you write x is equal to a, you write y is equal to 20, you write z is equal to paragraph or anything, Python programming was created in such a way that it can handle the data itself without using the data types. Okay, but there are other languages like Java, C, C++. Okay, bunch of languages are there that actually needs data types. So you might get the question, if we don't need to use these data types in Python, then why are we learning it? So we are learning it because as a programmer, as a data scientist, you need to know these terms. You need to know the meaning of these terms. Okay, that's why we are going to learn about these data types. But the plus point is that you don't actually need to implement it while using the Python programming language, because this language can handle the data on its own. This clear to all of you? Okay, since this is clear to all of you, now what we are going to do is, now we will discuss about the different types of data types. Okay, and that we need to know. And here what you need to know is that you need to know the definition of these data types only. So let's scroll it up. Yeah, I will tell you what is string, what is int. I'm going to explain that. Okay. The types of data types. Okay. And the first one that we are going to start is from the numbers. So if you are going to store numbers, okay, if you are supposed to store the numbers, so maybe you are going to store x is equal to 10 or y is equal to 2000, okay, or z is equal to 2025. No, it's 24. Okay. Then for such kind of values, we have a data type that is called what? That is called int. So we'll write int x is equal to 10. We write int y is equal to 2000. We write int z is equal to 2024. And basically this int is for integer. Okay. So whenever you are going to store a whole numbers, okay, let me repeat. Whenever you are going to store whole numbers, I hope you guys know what is whole numbers, right? Then in that case, we will be using integer data types. Okay, in that case, we'll be using what? Integer data type, that is int. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, the second type that we have is sometimes there might be a value or that might be a numbers which has decimal part to it, right? There might be point, there might be fractional part to it. So fractional numbers. If we are supposed to store such numbers, then we have float data type. Okay, and we in computer language we call it as floating point values. So if there is a variable like x is equal to 3.14, you can see that there's a decimal part, right? Y is equal to 9.234, like this, there's a decimal part. So while storing such values, we need a data type that is called float, like this. Okay, so float is used to store decimal numbers or the floating point values. Is this clear to all of you? Okay. So since this is clear now, we'll talk about the third data type. Okay. The third data type is Boolean values. And this might be very confusing or for you. So right now, what I want you people is that just understand the definition of the Boolean values, because in upcoming classes, I will solve some questions. Okay. And while solving those questions, you will automatically understand what is the purpose of Boolean value. Basically, in computer world, what we can do is we can store either true or false only. There are values like either it is going to return true or return false. Like for example, if the value of x is 10, okay, and y is 20, we don't want to print anything. We just want to check if x is greater than y or not. So if this thing is true, then the answer will be true. If not, then the answer will be false. Okay, there are only two answers, nothing more than that, nothing less than that. That is the answer that you will get would be either true or false. So in such cases, in such scenarios, we have a data type that is called Boolean values. Okay, for here we write BOOL bull. Okay, then X is equal to true. Or you can also save like you can write Boolean also. It's up to you what you want to choose, either bull or Boolean, and then like this false. You cannot store any other values, like you cannot have numbers, no. And this true false is not word. Okay, this true and false is the only thing that you can store by using this Boolean values. So basically here the true is represented as 1 and this false is represented as 0. Okay, so it is not storing the meaning of the true or false, no, it is storing the true as 1 and false as 0. Okay, so there are certain programming languages where true is denoted as 1 and false is represented as 0, and we will see the proper example of this Boolean in upcoming classes, so don't worry about it. Right now just understand, if you are supposed to store true or false, okay, then in that case you are supposed to use this data type, that is Boolean. This clear to all of you? Yeah, it's like we use in VLOOKUP formula. Okay, so now let's talk about the fourth data type. Okay, fourth data type is to store characters, and this is a characters as in it is used to store symbols. Okay, symbols as in what kind of symbol? So you guys might have the idea that symbols are like at the rate, exclamation mark, dollar sign, percent symbol, right? But those are not only symbols. If right now, if you will look at your keyboard, there are numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, there are A, there is B, there is C. Okay, there are letters, there are curly braces, there are plus sign, there is backslash. Okay, so all of these keys that right now you are seeing on your keyboard are actually symbols. Okay, and for that we have this data type that is char. So if I write here char, okay, x is equal to at the rate, then to store char we need single inverted comma. Okay, while storing the characters, while storing the symbol, we need this single inverted comma or single quotation mark. Okay, so this is how a character or symbol is defined in programming languages. They're like special characters, yes. So always remember, whenever you are defining a character, that value is enclosed in single inverted comma. Okay, if you do double, then it would be string, but for char we are supposed to use the single one only. And there is one more thing that it cannot hold more than two symbols. That means here char x is equal to at the rate. Okay, I can write char y is equal to as 1 like this. Okay, this is correct. But if you will try to include one more character or symbol, like here at the rate something, now this is not allowed. This char will give you an error. You won't be able to store these three symbols. Okay, you won't be able to do that. So in char, we can store maximum of two characters only or two symbols only. Okay, and when I say symbol, people don't get confused. Symbols are like everything that you see on the keyboard. Okay, even the A, okay, B, C, D, the small cases. If I write A, then B, then C, then D, these are one single symbols. Okay, in the same way, we have the symbols like hash, then percent, then at the rate, backslash. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are what? All of these are some characters. These characters comes together to form a word or to give meaning to a word. Okay, but if you see it separately, then these are just the single symbols without any meaning behind it, right? So in order to store such symbols, we use char data type. If I talk about any different languages also, and in Hindi, we have this symbol like ka. Okay, if I write numbers, then we have like this, ek, do, like this, right? So in different languages, if we talk about the Japanese, they have their own symbols. If we talk about Chinese, they have their own symbol. So in every country, they have their own symbols, own set of symbols, right? So these are the symbols that we can store by using the char data type. Are you guys able to understand up to here? Okay, so now let me discuss the fifth data type, and then after that, if you have any queries, I'll take that. Okay. So the fifth data type that we have is, here the thing is that with character, you can store only two symbols. Yes, here you can write only two characters, only two symbols. So we have string data type. And in string data type, you can store combination of characters or combination of symbols. Combination of symbols. So basically what you can do is, here I can write string, okay, and I can store A is equal to double inverted comma. Remember that while storing string, you are supposed to use double inverted comma. Okay, so string A is equal to hash and A, like this. If I want to store my name, I can do that also. A string B is equal to AISHA. In AISHA, there are 5 symbols. Okay, A, then I, then S, H, and A. In the same way, you can basically store a whole address also. Like here, I can store string C is equal to like 101, okay, underscore ABC at the rate street, okay, comma, sector 2, something like this. Okay, so basically when you are supposed to store the combination of characters, you can store here a one paragraph, one line, whatever you want. Okay, so in that case, what we will be using? We will be using string. And in string, you can store the combination of symbols. No matter it is a number, it is a alphabet, it are some symbols. Okay, you can store any of it by using the string. Are you guys clear about this? Yes, you can store only numbers in the string, but that number won't be number. What I'm trying to say is that if we will, uh, okay, let me tell you, give you one example. Here, if I will write string A is equal to 10, okay, and here if you will write int B is equal to 20, here it will be double inverted comma. Here, this 10 is not number. Okay, here this 20 is a number, but this 10 is not a number. This 10 is the combination of, okay, symbols. This is the combination of symbol that is 1 and 0. Okay, and this is a proper number 20. So the meaning behind this 10 is not stored over here, it is stored as the combination. So basically what I'm trying to say is that if you will perform a plus 20, okay, like this, and if you will perform b plus 20, so the value of a is 10 and b is 20, right? So here addition will happen, that means 20 plus 20 will get 40, because here it is a number, but here it is not a number, it is just a character. So what will happen? Joining will happen. 1020 like this. It will keep on joining. If I will write here a dot hello like this, okay. And if you get the answer, then it will be 10 and then hello. But you cannot do this thing with the int. So int, when you store numbers by using int, it actually acts as the number. But if you store it by using the string, then it acts as the symbol only. Okay, it acts as the symbol only. That is the differences. So if you want to perform mathematical calculation and if you want to store numbers, then in that sense you cannot use string, you need to use int. Okay, so next question is, what is double in data type? So basically double is the expansion of the float. Double is also used to store the decimal values. Float can store 4 bytes of data, double can store 8 bytes of data. The thing is same, the function is same, the only difference is the size of the characters that it can store. Okay, so another question here is, can I store more than 5 number symbols on string? You can store as many numbers, as many symbols as you want. It's not limited. As you can see that I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, I don't know, so many characters over here, symbols over here. Okay, so you can store as many symbols as you want. Which part do you want me to repeat? Please tell me. You are asking me to repeat, but please specify the part that you want me to repeat. Yes, variable is a must for any data type. Without variable, you cannot have a data type. Can you repeat character data type? So character is a data type that can store symbols, but only 2 symbols, not more than that. Okay, your character can store symbols, but only 2 symbols, not more than that. The fifth point is the string. Okay, the fifth point is the string. In string you can store in string you can store symbols. Okay, in string you can store symbols. So what I'm trying to say is that if you will store string a is equal to 10, and if you store int b is equal to 10, then here, or maybe let me write here 10 itself, 10. In this part, this is not number, this is just the combination of symbol. Okay, in this string a is equal to 10, this is not number, this is not like 1010. No, this is the combination of symbol only, 1 and 0. Okay, in b is equal to 10, this is a proper number. That means if I write here string a is equal to 200. Okay, so this is 200, this is not 200. But if I will write int a is equal to 200, then this is 200. You can perform mathematical calculation on it, you cannot perform any kind of calculation on string. Okay, and what is the use of character if string is there? So the use of character is that sometimes there might be a scenario where you are supposed to store the currencies. Okay, one example I'm giving, maybe that you want to store the currency of a certain country and you need symbol for that, maybe dollar sign or rupees sign or yen or un. Okay, so in that case we can use character instead of using string, you can use character. The adding of string is that what I'm trying to say is, if you are storing a number, okay, if you are storing a number, then you know that on numbers we can perform addition, multiplication, division and everything, right? So if you go back to the maths, if the value of b is equal to 10, and if you'll write a is equal to a plus, if you'll write a is equal to b plus 10, then what would be the answer for a? A is equal to b plus 10, then the value will be 10 plus 10, and you will get 20. Yes or not? Here would be 10 plus 10, and you will get 20. So if I store int b is equal to 10, I will get this answer. But if you will store string b is equal to 10 like this, okay, and if you write a is equal to b plus 10, then here this 10 is not a number. This is just a characters. So this plus will not perform addition. No, it will join these two numbers. That means the value of b is 10, and it will be 10 like this. That is the difference. It's not 1010. No, it is 10 and 10. These are just the combination of symbols. This is what string does. What I'm trying to say is that string stores numbers in the form of symbols, not as the number itself. Okay, and string can also be used as a character. Okay, any more questions? Yeah, after learning this course, you will be able to do so many things. You might be able to develop your own applications. You might be able to perform the task of the data analysis. Okay, there are so many more things that you will be able to do. So the key is the consistency and practice. You need to be consistent and you need to implement everything. Okay, whatever the things are taught in the class, you won't be able to understand it until you implement it on your side. So you need to do that. Okay, can we have practical example of these data types? As I told you earlier in the class, here we are learning the foundation. Okay, and you will implement these data types. And basically the thing is that, as I told you, Python programming does not need data types. So here we are learning it for the knowledge purpose only. Please tell me what you did not understand from this lesson. You need to tell me what you did not understand. The output of addition of string and int is that while int it is addition, but with string it is not addition. It is just joining two characters together. With string it is joining two characters together, and with int it is performing addition. That is the difference. We are not learning Python from today. I hope you were not in the starting of the class. We are learning programming foundation only. After this, you will have SQL. Then after that, we will start Python. Okay, here we are just developing the foundation for the Python. You will do this practical once you get to the Python programming module. As I told you, programming foundation is going to be theoretical only. Yeah, you will have some assignments to exercise that I will assign you tomorrow. For today, you will repeat everything that was taught in today's class. Okay. How do we practice what we learned today? Revise everything that was taught in today's class. Okay. Create a note, try to write the topics, try to write the definition of the topics that was taught in today's class. Then in that case, you can practice. Okay. You will not do anything practical in programming foundation. You will do practical once you get to the Python programming part. Okay, here we are just developing the skills. Here we are just developing the foundation of program. Okay, just don't focus on that plus part. String is used to store combination of characters. Either it is number, it is letter, it is alphabet, it is symbol, whatever it is. String is for that. Understand it in that way. Okay. You do not need to understand how to calculate right now. Okay. You do not need to understand that right now. So it's okay. Yeah, if you want to learn something new, then you need to revise that thing, right? And in order to revise, you need to go through the recording session and you need to hear it multiple times. Now, there are not any notes, okay? You are supposed to go through the recording session and prepare a note, like write down everything that was taught. And why is that? Because sending you a note is going to make you lazy, okay? And I don't want to do that. It's not my way of teaching. What I want is that I want you people to put some extra effort, okay? If you will create your own notes, if you will write yourself, then it will, you will understand everything more clearly and in very fast, okay? That's what. You don't need any practice material for data types, okay? You don't need any practice material for data types. What you need is that you just need to revise everything, understand the definition of the data types. As I told you, you would not even need data types while writing the Python programs. So right now you just understand the concept. That's it. Because of the privacy purpose, we don't create any WhatsApp or Telegram group, okay? If you have any queries, any doubts, you can raise a ticket regarding to it and we will help you get it resolved for you over the tickets only. Statistics part complete. I hope it has been complete. That's why we are on the new topic, that is programming foundation. So we are done for today's topic, people. I won't start any more new topics since we don't have enough time now. So in tomorrow's class, we will talk about operators. And then after that, we will discuss the conditional control statements. And then we will talk about the algorithms. Okay. And we will go there step by step. So if you, and for today, what you need to do is that you need to revise everything, note it down on your copies, so that it's a very long journey, right? In future you need to revise everything. So it would be so much better if you start making your notes and writing all of the important topics on your copies right now. Okay, so people who are asking me, can we leave? Yes, you can leave the class, no problem. I won't be starting any new topic, so if you want to leave, then you can leave the class. Okay, good night, people. Yeah, you will get the copy of every explanations. That means you will get the recording session and you can go through that. Thank you so much for appreciating the teaching way. Thank you so much. Yes, you can leave. Okay, good night, people. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow now. Till then, keep practicing. Okay, keep revising everything that was taught. And thank you so much for joining today's session. Make sure to join the session on time tomorrow. Okay, make sure that you are in the session within 9:35. Yeah, in start, everything is going to be basic. We will level up step by step. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for appreciating. Have a great night to you too. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we will go in depth in upcoming classes. Today's very first class, so it was basic, obviously, but we will go. You can't expect to reach level 10 without going through to the level 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Okay, so we need to go through every levels in order to reach the top. Algorithm will be starting tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, and there are bunch of topics that needs to be discussed before starting the algorithm. So if I would be able to cover up those topics, then yes, I will start algorithm. If not, then maybe the class after that. No, I don't think so. Some statistics is going to come again. About the exam, when it will be conducted, you will get the mails and you will get every information regarding to that once it will happen. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it right now. You'll get the information of it once it will start. So the flow is going to be, right now you are in the programming foundation, right? And after that, you will go to the module, to the SQL, where you will learn about the databases. That is a very much necessity for a data scientist. And after that, you will go to the programming foundation class. Okay, sorry, Python programming classes, where you will implement the codes, will create the projects. Okay, then after that, you will get to the other modules, where you will learn those modules, will create some projects. Okay, bunch of assessments, bunch of exams, and then you are going to get the then after that, you'd be given the certificates regarding to those things that you have completed. Okay, about the exams conduction, you will get the information when it will happen. Okay, so don't worry about that. Is this programming basics for this programming is basically basics for all of the programming languages: C, C++, Java, Python, all of the programming languages. Okay, and the person asking me to refer the book. Okay, moreover, we would suggest you that you use internet. Okay, and we'll be providing more than enough content, and if you want to deep dive, internet is there. And if you have any problem while you are curious and you are learning such thing, then you can take help from us regarding the same. Of course you are going to understand this in practical terms. Okay, of course you will. Okay, people, so thank you so much for joining today's class. Now I will see you tomorrow and we will continue the class tomorrow. Okay, till then, have a great day, everyone. Good night. The class assessment I will give you tomorrow. For today, you just need to revise everything, and tomorrow I'll give you some assignments. So, and you will be solving those assignments. Okay.